In the past few years, snowmobile categories have seen their biggest broadening ever. From trail cruisers to big bores, crossovers to freeride sleds, and now this newly emerging category, the crossover touring sled, or in this case, the 2013 Arctic Cat XF1100 Turbo CrossTour. The crossover touring category was initiated by Polaris in 2012 with their Switchback Adventure 600 model. It featured a Cobra 136-inch track with a 1352 lug, helping it to tackle off-trail conditions, while also coming standard with sizable hard luggage for touring. While we did enjoy the Adventure, it was missing a larger displacement engine, as well as some of the modern refinements that make touring trips even more enjoyable. Knowing that Polaris had this new designation completely cornered with the Adventure, and doing quite well with sales not to mention, Arctic Cat sought to bring this classification a new level of refinement, and therefore we have the 2013 CrossTour. Built off the XF 141-inch chassis, the CrossTour utilizes a longer track length while not needing to use a deeper lug track, delivering incredible float while still allowing for a usable and confident trail riding lug. Arctic Cat did opt to use a Camoplast Cobra track, as its off-trail abilities have been proven time and time again. My initial impression of the CrossTour is that it's actually quite different looking than other XF models, and most noticeable is the rear storage bag, rear tunnel rack, front handlebar storage, and the mountain bars that are mounted to 5.5-inch risers. The CrossTour is all about amenities, and it has them in spades. From the ample tunnel and handlebar storage to the rear rack and bumper system that accepts a wide variety of MRP touring accessories, allowing you and your gear to go for days. Adding to your comfort, a heated seat, mounted mirrors on a very usable mid-height Lexan, along with electric start and grips that are heated to the ends of the handlebar hooks. And all of this is standard equipment from the factory. When I first heard about the CrossTour, I expected the 1100 naturally aspirated motor package. I anticipated the 800 two-stroke, but one thing that caught even me by surprise was the 1100 Turbo. So often, first-year sleds will feature a mid-displacement motor, hitting the meat of the market, testing its acceptance, and returning the next year with more motor options. But not with Arctic Cat, and let me tell you, I think this was their best move yet. Corner-to-corner performance is excellent, while off-trail capabilities are incredible. There's no shortage of power, yet the Turbo is settled and compliant at lower speeds. While it is a heavy hitter under the hood, riders won't feel like the CrossTour is driving them. The Fast Track rear suspension features a Fox float on the rear arm and a Zero Pro up front. Now I'll be the first to tell you that the 2012 XFs were way too stiff, but for 2013, Arctic Cat has recalibrated the CrossTour to focus more on trail performance and less on off-trail shredding. The Fast Track rear skid works well as a crossover design. The added length bridges bumps and helps settle down braking or acceleration moguls you find on your favorite trails. There is still a slight sensation of the rear skid being too stiff. However, any suspension system using an air shock over torsion spring setup does tend to suffer from initial ride-in stiffness. Once you start to work the Fast Track, the Float 2 really shows its abilities and becomes significantly more compliant. Up front, the CrossTour utilizes Fox Zero Pro shocks and delivers a quality 10 inches of travel. Now, Fox floats would look cool on the front end of this sled, but I've come to truly enjoy the old-school design of coilover shocks. I truly just don't have an issue with the front suspension or steering system on the CrossTour. It settles rough trail whoops, carves sugary corners with confidence, and never leaves me wondering if the sled is going where it wants to go or where I'm pointing it. If the snow conditions become granular and washed out, the CrossTour responds exceptionally well to a quick squirt of the throttle to snap the rear end around or accelerate hard off a berm, exiting a well-used corner. The combination of power and drivability equal nothing less than a confidence-inspiring ride. And when it's linked with the list of standard features, that ride becomes even more agreeable and comfortable, no matter the distance or terrain you're planning to cover. For 2013, Arctic Cat proves that you don't have to sacrifice low horsepower motor options on a new model. And while I really like the 1100 naturally aspirated and 800 two-stroke, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, like squeezing the trigger on the 1100 Turbo and watching it bury the needle way past the Benjamins.